Hi everyone and welcome. My name is Dora and this is my 3-year update to my No-Buy project pan. So what I tend to do at these yearly updates, I want to show you every single item that is still within this project. We've got a lot more this year because I introduced skincare, body care, hair care products in here as well. Not every single item from my collection is in this project. I initially started this in November 2022 with 10 makeup categories. I would like to reveal as well at the end of the video how many of these original items are still in my collection and how many of those are still within this project. So they belong to categories that I haven't panned out of this project yet. It's also an opportunity for me to share some thoughts with you. How are things going in terms of my no-buy? Or, you know, and it's only like a select no-buy. It's not a no-buy on everything, just on these certain categories where I've got goal numbers. And the idea is that once I reach a goal number, I'm allowed to roll the category out of this project and then I'm allowed to buy a new product should I choose to. The idea is to reduce my collection physically, but also to, for the lack of a better term, to curate my collection to something that I feel really inspired by, motivated by, something that I feel represents me, with products that I feel, you know, are not like super old and crusty anymore, but actually fairly new, and I'm excited about them and I know how to use them, just but still, you know, like a well-loved collection. That's the goal. I'm gonna kick off with the thoughts. So I've just got here a list of random stuff that came into my head when I thought about this yesterday as I was preparing this video. So I really feel that the no-buy works when I'm in a shop. I have to just point out that I don't shop online. I'm just not that person. I think maybe it's a generational thing, maybe it's a tactile thing. I prefer seeing the product. I do make exceptions here and there. I've definitely bought eyeshadow palettes online, but after a lot of research as well, I feel like, whereas with other products that are in here, complexion products, lip products, I just really want to swatch it in store. I also make an exception for this for stuff on Vinted, but I haven't bought makeup on Vinted yet. I'm still on a no-buy. I mean, it's not like I'm not looking, but I'm mainly using Vinted for secondhand clothing to both sell and purchase. Actually, I have sold makeup on Vinted, so that has been really helpful. But just to come back to it, so the no-buy works for me when I'm in a shop because I know in my head what categories are still in my no-buy project, which categories am I therefore not allowed to shop. It's helpful because there are times when I really want to buy something and maybe I'm in a shop and I'm just looking, I'm browsing, and I would like to buy a souvenir, but I tell myself I can't because it is this accountability of doing the no-buy, being accountable to you and to myself, and just sticking to that. I'm less tempted to go into shops and look at makeup when I'm at home. It's more of a, I think over the past 3 years, it's become more of a, oh, let's look into makeup stores when I'm on holiday type of souvenir situation where, yeah, like 2 recent trips that I did over the summer, for example, I bought 7 new items from my non-no-buy categories, and both of them were bought, okay, one was at the airport when I was leaving here, the other ones were bought in Spain and the other ones were bought in Germany. So that was like my holiday haul from August and September. I actually bought 3 face powders after face powders moved out of this project, but I know I'm going through them quite fast. I'm all right with that. Yeah, one was an Hourglass, 2 were Essence, and I know I'm gonna be able to get that under control again. Anyway, I also bought 2 eye pencils because I was down to 1, and that one is, you know, part of my plan to pan, so I know I'm low on that. I bought a lip liner and a lipstick as well. These are all categories that were previously in the no-buy, but that have moved out. And it felt good to be able to buy new products again after 2 years, 3 years actually almost. So I'm not like massively happy with myself that I bought like 3 of the same category with face powders. 2 eye pencils was probably not necessary either. I still think it's not in a sort of alarming high volume type of thing. So I'm all right with it, I think. But I just noticed that pattern and I thought it was interesting. Where I'm also still struggling is taking on declutters from other people, friends and family. It's really hard for me to say no, especially maybe because I'm on a no-buy as well. And of course I'm interested in makeup and I'm consuming makeup panning content as well. So I'm constantly thinking about it as well and like seeing it, right? So less so for me, I'm not really looking at new releases, or I'm not subscribed to newsletters, or I'm not even looking on Instagram a lot actually, unless it's panning content. So the declutters is where I feel tempted because I'm presented with a new product, new to me, and especially if it's a product or brand that I'm not familiar with yet, and someone that I know and like or love is offering it to me. It's really hard to say no because yeah, I'm excited about it. I want to try it, but increasingly I've been better at saying no. But I've also been learning to declutter a little bit more myself, and I feel that that helps with saying no to declutters from other people as well, because yeah, okay, I could try the product that you're wanting to give to me now because you're not wanting to use it anymore, but chances are I will declutter it later down the line as well because it's probably an older product that may expire sooner than if I was to buy it new, if it was still available even, you know. So there's definitely that, and yeah. But it's a learning curve, but yeah, just, you know, thoughts and reflections. As I said already, so for those categories that have rolled out of this project, I'm definitely more interested in buying from those categories as compared to other categories that have never been in this project yet, because, you know, technically I've always been allowed to buy them anyway, so they're just less exciting to me. And there's a reason why certain categories are in here, like cream blushes, for example, cream eyeshadow sticks, a favorite category. You know, I'm excited about these products, so yeah, but I have to pan them first before I get to buy a new one. So once I'm able to do that, of course it's more exciting to purchase those categories. As I said already, the accountability is really, really, really helpful, because there's a difference when you're telling yourself, oh, I'm not going to do this anymore, to stick with that. Doesn't mean that you can't and you're gonna break your word to yourself, but of course having others to be accountable to is a massive help. So just another big thank you to all of you who have been supporting me here, and yeah, it's really, really helpful, and you've really showed up in terms of ideas for me how to pan certain products. I'm looking at a body spray here, and I've had so many cool ideas of how to use this really unloved scent. It's so helpful, so thank you for being here. I do also have to admit that, you know, and I already said that I'm not really consuming makeup content other than panning content online. Panning has definitely made me want to buy more stuff as well. It's kind of weird because technically there's this niche community that we've got here, and the idea is for us to share and help each other, cheer each other on our more conscious consumerism journey and trying to reduce our collections and buying less. But I think with especially so many of these fun projects, I know that pan those eyeshadows, for example, and being really hooked on that for a while there, that really made me want to buy more eyeshadow palettes because I wanted more variety. The first year of me being a panner, I was just on Instagram, and every month I did an inventory, and every month I tried to reduce my numbers, either by emptying out products or, you know, actually using them up, or by decluttering them if I felt they'd gone bad. Came onto Instagram not even realizing there was this whole thing going on YouTube. And once I got hooked on pan those eyeshadows, I bought a lot of palettes, and a lot of them are really, really colorful because I think that's more fun, and I love color and I like experimenting with color, and it's also more fun to randomize colorful eyeshadows, at least to me it was, than just a neutral color story. And right now I'm really I've been looking at my eyeshadow collection and I've really noticed that I don't have that many neutral palettes. 2 out of over 40, I think. And that's weird because I really like neutral shadows too. I'll be talking more about that in my Eyeshadow Declutter Project Pan finale, which is still gonna come. It's the next video I'm gonna film actually, but I've got 3 more in store for you that I've already filmed, including my Help Me Choose My Pan That Palette for next year and a Pan That Palette update, yeah. Right, okay, so, okay. I've definitely been buying more makeup because of panning, but I've also been using more makeup and using up more makeup and being more conscious with how I purchase things, all thanks to makeup panning. So this is not to say that makeup panning, I love makeup panning. It's my form of escapism. I love it. I love that there's this space here where I can go that feels really safe and secure, where I know I can consume content and I know it's not gonna trigger me in any type of way because it's just, you know, maybe there's a lot of new stuff in there and politics and stuff and I get really upset about things like that. So yeah, I like that there's this, just this lovely, innocent, amazing community where I can go for escapism, and I need it because with work and in my day-to-day, I think about big questions and ethical stuff all the time. So it's nice to have a break from that. So yeah, I love panning and the community is just so positive. And I think everyone says that, especially if you come from online communities or you have witnessed online communities that are really not as nice and loving and supportive as this one here, then coming here is just like, oh wow, yes, I believe in humanity again. It really does feel like that sometimes. Okay, a couple of other bits. So at my 2-year update, which I rewatched the other day just to prepare myself for this one and also so that we can compare some numbers this time last year versus today, I shared that my goal was to move my wooden chest of drawers, just like a mini one, not mini, but a small one that fits into my wardrobe that's behind you right now where I'm filming. I wanted to be able to move that out. That chest of drawers was housing all of my backup items. I can now share, where is it? Everything is still in my wardrobe, backup wise, but it's in this rather washed out, I still really like though, like a wash bag. So all my stuff is in here that is backup, and I've already taken out the bits that I need for this update. So I think that was a good result. I managed to pass the chest of drawers on to my son. He loves it. He's got all his small bits in there now. He really enjoys that chest now. I enjoy that I was able to pass it on because I've got more space in my wardrobe now. Loving it. Sometimes lately I've been feeling like, does the makeup panning even still make sense? And well, I'm not saying I will never stop this, at least I don't think so. I love it so much. But I'm increasingly thinking I'm only really focusing on that bag that I just showed you and 2 drawers in my desk. Whereas, you know, and that feels really neat compared to the rest of my desk and the rest of my house even. And in Graveyard Project Pan, for example, I have been panning for the past 2 years. I've been panning tea and candles as well. And I'm thinking of like introducing more categories like that into my No by Project Pan, just because, yeah, it's all well and good like trying to minimize everything here with the makeup and the bath and body and skincare stuff, but that's just a small fraction of what my life is actually, and also in terms of all my stuff that I've got, you know. I feel like more categories will be added in 2026, and I think that could be exciting. I'd love to hear from you actually, if there are any categories in your life, in your home, that you feel you could put yourself on a low buy or no buy on, other than what I just mentioned. So not the skincare beauty stuff, makeup stuff. Maybe it's also candles and tea for you. Maybe it's something else like stationery. Maybe it's something specific stationery wise, or something else, or, you know, entirely. Let me know. Yeah, I'd love to know. Some inspo perhaps. Okay. I also wrote down one more point to mention, and yeah, I just wrote here, we go through different phases and have different needs and styles too. And I think that's true because I can start off with this no-buy wanting to be down to, I don't know, say one highlighter, for example, or one cream blush. But maybe my preferences might change. So especially with more long haul products, I feel like it becomes really hard to stick to it and to stay motivated. Maybe you're just really, really inspired to try out something that is different, very different from how you've been applying your makeup in the past. But then again, panning also really teaches you to multi-use items, use them in different ways, apply your makeup in new ways as well. Because you're forced to, you know, if you're saying, all right, I'm not going to buy a new blush until I've finished these two here, then you're going to have to experiment a little bit with what you've got and maybe start to mix other colors together from your eyeshadow collection, la la la, you get it, yeah. But I think it's good to just honor the fact that if you're doing this and you're doing a no-buy and it's longer than a year, and even within 1 year, you might still change a little bit, yeah. Let's get into it. All right, the first thing I want to talk about is to do a comparison between where I was at last year, at my 2-year update, which went up on the 30th of November 2024. Hopefully this is still going up on the 30th of November of 25. We'll see. And I just want to draw a comparison. So since then, I've actually eliminated one category, one makeup category, face powders, I believe. Eye pencils, yes. But let's go through them one by one. So face primers, 1 year ago, at my 2-year update, I had 8. And my goal was to be down to 3. And then in that update, I changed my goal to 2. Since then, I have actually finished my Catrice primer, a Revolution Radiant Peach primer, and an Alverde primer as well. So I'm down to 5 primers now. Brows. At my 2-year update, I was at 1, goal was to be at 0, nothing happened there, not surprised. It's a very slow moving category for me. Cream eyeshadows, I was at 8 last time, my goal still is to be down to 3. I had a declutter, a concocted, melted together of scraps, eyeshadow pen jar situation that I got rid of. I felt was unsanitary. I also finished my H&M Lavender Flush pencil, purple one, Vive Silver Mink, and e.l.f. Champagne Crystal. So 4 went out, so that means I should be at 4 right now. Yes, I am. Eye pencils, as I said, this category was eliminated. I have finished the Maybelline Tattoo Liner in soft bronze, the Art Deco pencil in black, I think it was waterproof. And then there were 2 that I used up until they expired. So they weren't completely done and they weren't just declutters either. So I used them until they were maybe this short, and then I decluttered them because they had gone bad. The LA Girl in Deep Violet and another Maybelline Kajal Longwear one, waterproof in brown. Single eyeshadows, I was at 2 and my goal is to be at 0. I depotted an eyeshadow since then, and I also took on a declutter, so I'm back at 2. Highlighters, I was at 3, my goal is to be at 1. Empties, since then, yep, I finished the Dr. Hauschka Illuminating Stick. I believe I showed that to you at my last update. And then I decluttered the LA Girl. It was a bronzy illuminator I gave to my friend. She loves it. Great. Blush. Back then, I still had all of my blushes and bronzers, so powder and liquid or cream and bronzer, all in one category. I had 11 products. My goal was to be down to 3. It still is, but it's just 1 bronzer, 1 cream, 1 powder blush now. And since then, I have decluttered a small Bare Minerals mini pigment type of blush. I sort of, again, finished until I had to declutter it because it had gone bad. The Tower 28 Beach Please Power Hour. The Primark cream blush in soft rose, pink rose, rosé, something like that. I finished. And the e.l.f. Putty Blush in a mystery shade, I also decluttered and gave to my friend, and she adores it. So And I also depotted a Sizzly bronzer, a Franken one, Sizzly Bare Minerals bronzer by then. I still count that as my bronzer though. 11, if I total them up right now, let me see where I am. 4 plus 3 is 7. I'm at 9. That's cool. Okay, so clearly new things came in. 2 declutters came in, so that makes sense. So I should be 11, I should have been at 7, but yeah, I'm at 9. Okay, I think I'm gonna show you some makeup now. And then at the end, I'm gonna share which items are still in here that were in here in the intro. I think I'm gonna start with the makeup and then move on to all my skincare stuff. Yeah, let's do it that way. Okay, I'm kicking off with primers. I am down to 5, as I already said. I have got a color correcting primer here, Trended Up by Redness. I use it from time to time. I had to use it a little bit today, for example. It's super handy to have. My goal is to be down to 2, by the way. So I think maybe a color correcting one and probably this one, Holy Grail item, that would be good for me. So this is the Revolution Pore Blur and Prime Primer. Really enjoy it. And then I've got the Bare Minerals Prime Time Original Foundation Primer that I'm using right now. Using this every day, at least on my eyelids. So it's a 25 and 25 product. I'm not sure if it, you know, I'm going to be done. I can't pump it out anymore, but there's still a lot of product in there. Then I've got the Revolution Ceramide Primer as well. Maybe I'll pan that next year, we'll see. And then the Collection Gorgeous Glow Filter Finish Complexion Boosting Primer and Illuminator. I use this for fallout, cleaning up mostly, but not every day anymore now that I'm using more like micellar water and a little microfiber cloth. Maybe I'll try and use this all over. Laura, the Makeup Hunter, who I'm going to link below, amazing UK-based, I was going to say panner, but I don't think she actually is. She's just a makeup enthusiast, really good at it as well. I think she's a trained makeup artist too, and she just does these lovely get ready with me's mainly, and has got a huge collection, and I really enjoy her content. She's really calming and soothing, and I also really like how she's got both a very high-end but also a drugstore type of collection, and she's very knowledgeable. So I saw her in a recent-ish video use this filter finish all over her face as a primer, and it looked amazing. She's so good at doing her base makeup, so I might try and give it another go. Wow, okay, yes. So those are my 5, and then in total I've had 13 in here. So I've actually managed to use up 8, and primers wasn't even a category that I had in here in the intro. Brows, definitely a product, because you know, a category with 1 product. So it has been in here since the intro. I'm going to show you a picture of what this looked like 3 years ago. And this is my MAC single eyeshadow, maybe an espresso, who knows? The label has come off a long time ago, and I'm using this in my brows, although not today. I've got a darker one in my brows today. Yeah, it's still here, and I want to be down to 0, so this needs to be panned before I can buy a new brow product. And I'm kind of interested in just getting a pencil and or trying out a new, maybe a brow gel. Who even am I? You know, that would be exciting because I've only really been using eyeshadow. Okay, goal is to be down to 0. In total, I've had 2 in here. There was a Revolution pomade, brow pomade, that I decluttered because it had dried up completely. It was a gift with purchase, so I believe it was already a little bit on the older side when I got it. Cream eyeshadows, I already told you, I'm down to 4. My goal is to be down to 3. I am so close. And in total, I've had 14 in here, so I've panned 10. I think there were 2 declutters in total from that list. I like those a lot. I'm going to show you what I've still got. So let's start with the smallest, sharpenable one. Nude Sticks Magnetic Matte Eye Color in Terra. I am very nearly done with this. I'm wearing this on my eyes today, actually. The actual crayon bit has fallen out already, so last time I sharpened it, I actually took that out to sharpen it because I knew otherwise I would have just lost it in the sharpener, and I didn't want to do that, so yeah. Then I've also got the Kiko Milano Long Lasting Eyeshadow Stick in 11. This is a holy grail item for me. I mean, there's more in here. Absolutely love this. Can't wait to use it. This has got my favorite formula. And I feel like a lot of shops, brands are discontinuing eyeshadow pens now. I can't find the e.l.f. ones anymore. I've got 2 here. They're not a favorite, but it's just interesting to see that they're not really available anymore. H&M have discontinued them. I really like the H&M formula. Laura Mercier, I believe, still have theirs. Ooh, because they're a favorite as well. Vive is another good one. I'm sure I'll always be able to find some. These 2 are e.l.f. Now about shadow sticks. This one is Perfect Pearl. And here's how much I have still left. The other one I can't roll up because it's wobbly, it's broken off, but I don't have a lot of it, less than of the Perfect Pearl, and this is Bronze Metal. I am wearing this one on my lower lash line today, but then I've got a powder eyeshadow on top. Right, so that's that. Single eyeshadows, I am at 2, but there's been a bit of a shift. My goal is to be down to 0, and in total I've had 3 in here. When I talk about single eyeshadows, I mean in their own component, not a single magnetic, just a pan that I can pop into a magnetic palette. I don't count those here. So, okay. This was a reclutter recently, maybe a year ago, I don't know, another MAC. I bought it at the same time as the brow product. This is typographic, yeah, and this is an organic pan. I'm so proud of it. For the longest time, long before I became a panner, I was using this as a liner. I don't really use a liner anymore. I don't do a liner like on top of my eyelashes anymore, but yeah, anyway, okay, there's that. And then also I already told you I depotted the Kiko, or repressed it into a different magnetic pan, so I don't count that in here anymore. And then there's also this one, a declutter that I took on. I'm wondering whether to hold on to it or get rid of it. It is nice. This is called Chic Taupe, and it's by Maybelline Color Show. This is on the older side, I have no doubt. I can't say I've used it yet, so I'm gonna have to maybe put it into a project and then figure out what to do with it, but I may declutter it as well. As for highlighters, I'm at 2 highlighters right now. My goal is to be down to 1, so I'm close, and in total I've had 6 in here. First up is a highlighter stick by Soap & Glory, Glow All Out Highlight and Sculpt Cheek Stick in Ice Shimmer. I really like this one, it's beautiful. I'm wearing this almost every day, especially when I wear my Fenty matchsticks, because that's more solid. You'll see it in a moment. So I like to apply the highlighter first. And then I've got a powder highlight that I'm also using every day, especially on my brow bone. This is where I've got it on right now as well. Physicians Formula, Rose All Day Set and Glow. Used to be a duo. So it's got this rose, and it's rose scented as well. So rose patterned powder highlighter here, but it had a little sort of like a half moon type of shape of a cream highlighter in there as well. That went rancid, so I had to declutter it and rip it out. Down to 2. Need to finish 1 more before I can roll out highlighters. I'm at 3 cream blushes now. My goal is to be at 1. In total, I've had 9 in here. Wow! I've got the Made by Mitchell blush in Rosy Posy. I am actually wearing this on my cheeks today under a powder blush, which I'll show you in a moment. Then there's the now discontinued, oh, such a favorite, the H&M Do It All Stick, Lips and Cheeks Color Stick Rose Coral. I love it. It was like more domed, more rounded when I got it, but yeah, still can't roll it down all the way. And here is how much I have of it, minus the plastic base. Might try and pan this next year. I think so, we'll see. And then my final cream blush is the Fenty Matchsticks in Ridic with 3 eyes. And at least it's flush with the packaging now. You know, this was in my plan to pan for this year, but it's not happening. Powder blush, I'm at 4, my goal is to be at 1, and in total I've had 7 in here. So this is the one I'm wearing today, Essence Matte Touch Blush in Bury Me Up. Matte, really nice and pretty. I think it's looking a little bit hard pan in here. This was another declutter I got this summer, I received. And then another declutter, I got this one from Ruth Foley here on YouTube. She doesn't really post anymore. Maybe we can convince her to come back one day. But she gave me this one and many other bits here as well. So this is the Milani Baked Powder Blush in Dolce Pink. Absolutely stunning. Such a lovely colour and glow. I just haven't used it a lot. Need to stick it in a project. And then I've also got the Laura Mercier Shimmer Block in Pink Mosaic. And here's this one. So it's a quad, but I tend to swirl it and use it all over. I don't use this very often, but here and there and for special occasions, I do dip into it. And then I've got a NARS Mini, and this is the Dolce Vita. It's beautiful. I've definitely got some use on here. I can see the edges of the pan, but yeah, it's not a, you know, because the pan is so small, I don't think I'll ever really hit pan on it. Or once I do, I think it'd be more like a big pan very quickly. All right, so that's the story with powder blushes. Finally, final makeup product category. Bronzer 2. My goal is to be at 1, and in total I've had 2 in here. So these are the only 2 I've ever owned. Yeah, I can actually say that. This is the Barry M Island Heat Wave. It's a declutter that I took on, not my color match necessarily, but when I use this very light-handedly, it works really well and it's beautiful. I do rate the Barry M powder formula. I'm panning their Black Cherry eyeshadow palette right now, and I like the formula, so yeah. And then finally, I already mentioned the Franken Sizzly and Bare Minerals bronzer, and here is this one now. So I'm unofficially still trying to pan it as part of my BYOP, but yeah, might have to repress it at one point. Okay, down to 2, not down to 2, still at 2 bronzers. I would like to be down to 1 before I can potentially buy a new one. Before we move on, I just also want to quickly update you on my low buy categories. So as for my nail polishes, at my last update, I was down to 41, actually up to 41. But I had both received declutters as well as been able to finish polishes by putting them together, frankening them, which is how I always, the only way I use up polish is by doing that. My goal was to be down to 35, because even though my numbers increase, it's basically I'm trying to do a 5 out 1 in type of system. So I needed to finish 6 before I could buy a new one. I am much closer to that goal now, because I'm down to 37 polishes now. Technically, I can show you which 4 I'm getting rid of. Basically, it's just for my local school where my son goes. They are wanting to do something for Christmas. I think they're gonna have like a little manicure kind of corner going on, so they needed polishes to be donated, and I put my hand up and said yes, of course I can give you a few, why not? So I'm passing on an orange Essie, although slightly frankened, and then a red Essie as well, again slightly franken, and then this pink shimmery, also franken, Sabrina Rudnick bottle. And this is a Trended Up bottle, another Franken, a purple gold shimmer. So these are just gonna leave my house, you know, by the end of next week, or yeah, I'm filming this on a Saturday, so they'll be gone very soon. I've already put them out of my panning journal. So I'm down to 37 officially, and my goal is to be at 35. So I only need to finish 2 more, and then I can potentially buy a new color, and I'm really wanting to buy a black polish. I still have one, but I need another one for frankening purposes. As for my eyeshadow palettes, I'm a little bit confused right now myself in terms of how many I've actually got, because I'm in the middle of still decluttering more palettes. So if you're interested in that, make sure, and you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel, because very soon I'll be updating you on my eyeshadow declutter project pan finale that I've paused, but I still wanted to wrap it up before the end of the year and show you which other eyeshadow palettes I will be decluttering, passing on, or maybe just makeup recycling. Now we only need to look at skincare and whatnot together, and I'll be able to update my numbers now. I've got my intro numbers here. I'll already give you the total. So in my intro I had 78 products. I think I said 77, but I've recounted it a number of times again and I'm always coming up to 78. My goal was to be at 6, and right now I think I'm at 52. I only counted it once as I had everything laid out. I'm going to confirm that number in editing, so I should be down by 26 products already. Yeah, and that is less than a year. Okay, let's do it. I know I'm already up by one product because I had to just grab something from the bathroom, and I'm going to kick off with that category actually because it's a new category. I think at my last update I started to subcategorize everything a little bit better, because when I introduced this it was just sort of random. Here's 78 products, there you go. So now I'd like to just have it more organized like I have been with my makeup products, and I'm going to kick off with a new category because it wasn't in the intro, I believe. I don't think I had anything for it. I think I was down to 1, so I didn't feel like it was necessary to include it, but I would like to include it now because I've got 3. And that is SPF for the face. So this is the one, no, there are 2 that I've started using already, and I think it's high time I sort of, you know, finish something up so that I'm down to 1 or potentially 0 before they actually expire. So this is the B by Superdrug Protect Defense Moisturizer SPF 50. Yeah, I'm sort of, I've maybe got about a third left, maybe a quarter. So here's one, and then the second one is by Ottama Kirkpina Bed and Breakfast. This is a 50 SPF, super gorgeous. It's got a sparkle and a shimmer in there. It's quite a cool toned pink. I love it, absolutely beautiful. I've been really enjoying this in the summer, and it looks really nice under makeup as well. And then this one by the same brand I haven't tried yet, and this is Barry Cat, and it's a 50 SPF as well. So just, you know, I want to track that and update you if I've got an empty. So 3 SPF now. Okay, let's move on to face tonics. In the intro I had 2. I'm down to 1 now because I used one up, the Pixie Glow Face Tonic last time. And I'm down to just this one, the ME Plus by Superdrug BHA toner with 2% salicylic acid. I said that I wasn't enjoying this anymore. I stopped using it all over my face. But I've got like, this was sort of full, you know, when I introed it, and I'm here now. I'm only using this at the certain spots or areas where I need it. So if I feel that I've got a blemish coming on, I will apply this at night, and then sometimes even some tea tree oil on top, but not all the time, and it works really well for that. Obviously it's going to take me a million years to finish it, but I'm happy that I found a new way of using this. It's just my skin is too sensitive to use it all over the face, but yeah, in those concentrated areas where I need it. And doing that maybe maximum 2 in a row at night, usually one night sorts it, so yay. Down to 1, okay. Face mist, I was at 2 in the intro, I'm up to 3 now. What happened there, Dora? Well, actually, technically, I reached my goal number. I was down to 0, but I think it would be good to track it. And then I went into Superdrug, and there were certain brands on offer. So I think it was buy one, get one free for this range. So I bought 2 of them, and I finished 2 or 3 of these exact same ones already. Vitamin C Detox Skincare Energizing Facial Spritz. Love them. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. And then there was a buy 2 get 1 free, I believe, on the Naturally Radiant range as well. And I love their face wash. So I bought 2 of those. and the cooling mist as well with kiwi fruit and mulberry extracts. And look, I'm already down here. And the other two are untouched, but I'm not worried. So I'm at 3 and I will still keep it in here, I think, for, you know, accountability's sake. And it could be kind of satisfying to see some more empties and progress maybe. Need to remember to mark these things. Moving on to serums. I had 6 in the intro. It would be surprising, I think, if I had less. I'm not even sure. Okay. There's the Babor Active Night Ampoule Serum Concentrates. There are 7 in here, but I'm counting it as one product. So that's still kicking around. Then I've got the Q&A Azelaic Acid Balancing Serum. I haven't touched it, so I'm about here. That's a serum too. By Avant. Collagen Intense Radiance Activator Serum. Haven't touched it yet. Then, oh, this is an ampoule. I'm just gonna tuck it in here as well. Earth Harbor Marina Biome Brightening Ampoule. Love this one. I had this in Clue Project Pan. Absolutely adored it, and I only used it when I had to because of uses. So I am here now. I've got a body serum, Espa Optimal Body Tri Serum. I'm still going to include that for serums. There's aloe vera as well here. Shall I include that as a serum? Miscellaneous. So that means I am at 5. Okay, I've probably used up a serum then. That's good. Let's go to samples. And I think face masks, yes, were separate. In the intro, I had 9 face masks and 15 samples. Mask-wise, I'm down to 1. Wow. Actually, I've got these. I think I might count them. These are new. These were a gift. Lacura Skin Hydrogel eye pads with aloe vera. So there are 60 in here, 30 pairs. I've already used them twice, I believe. So 28 more to use. And a sheet mask. I know I used up one of them. I had 3 of them in total. I used up 1 in the last week. And yeah, I mean, I'm down to 2 masks now. I'm happy with that. And samples wise, Elizabeth Arden 8-Hour Cream, that's 1. Garnier Hyaluron Barrier Repair Liquid Care, 2. That's 4. Garnier Vitamin C Glow Booster Serum and the Vitamin C Daily UV Fluid Glow. 5 is the Believe Aqua Bomb Jelly Cleanser. 6 is Elizabeth Arden Superstart Skin Renew Booster. 8 is these 2 Lancaster 365 Skin Repair Creams. Oh, and another one of these. I'm down to 9. I know that the Garnier at least joined recently, but still, I'm down by 6. I'm good with that. Let's move on to bath products now. Again, I didn't specifically count them up in my intro or whenever I did that breakdown last, but I've got 3 products here now. They're all very different, but these involve me having to take a bath. I can't do this in the shower. I mean, I guess I could, but maybe I could. Anyway, not with this one. This is a bath soak by Aromatherapy Bath Salts with lavender, rosemary and cardamom. Oh no, Arthur Betsy. Okay. Vegan, handmade in UK, natural. Really look forward to using these. These were a gift from my friend. And then I've got a Ahava Dead Sea Mud Mask that I've had for 10 years, I think. I think that's a bath thing. Yeah, I think that would be easier. Or I do that in the shower. Anyway, we'll count it in here. And then the Oliver Bonus Bath Oil, Citrus and Lavender. I had this in my Graveyard Project Pan. I just did the finale. And I'm a little bit lower already, so I used it once or twice since then already. Okay, so I'm still counting that as 3 bath products. Body and hair oil. In the intro I had 5 and I'm down to 3, so I finished 2. I have still got the Lee Stafford Argan Oil. I'm wearing this today. It's not amazing. I feel like I have to reapply this every day, whereas normally when you know, in between hair washes. If I use a real oil, then it's enough for me to put it in after I've washed my hair, and then not until I've washed it again. But yeah, this is more silicone-y feeling. It says it doesn't have any silicone in here, but it definitely gives off that kind of texture. But yeah, it's all right. I wouldn't repurchase it. It was actually a declutter that I got given, and I am here. The next one is the Star Child Moontime Massage Oil. I haven't used this at all, but I'm still sort of saving it a little bit. I got it from a friend. Bloom and Blossom and Breathe Relaxing Shower Oil. I am doing all right with this one. I would say I'm about less than halfway. Okay, I've got more on my lap, and then we still need to look at perfume. I've got 3 of the Sunkissed Bronze Professional Moisturizer Spray Tan. Yeah, that's all I have. I would like to be down to, I think, 0, although having 1 bottle on hand if I wanted to bronze my legs in the summer, I think that wouldn't be a bad idea, but I'm still gonna want to be down to 0 before I could buy a new one. So we're keeping it at 0. So that's a new subcategory. Actually, with all of them, I kind of want to be down to 0 before I buy a new one. Then I've got another miscellaneous item. This is the Rituals Reviving Hand Scrub. I have no idea how to use this properly. Figure it out. Hand creams. Some of them are body creams, but I'm using them as hand creams. I'm just gonna group it all together because I have my body moisturizer and I'm happy to go through that. Like, you know, once I run low, I buy a new one. That's not in here. It's the extra stuff that I don't remember to use. That's what's in here. And similarly for my hand cream, and I'm just gonna show you so that I don't count it. I'm about here right now, but this is my handbag hand cream that is just like a travel container, and I refill it with my body lotion. That system would work so well for me, you know. But yeah, instead of using that, I should use one of these smaller ones here in my handbag and my actual hand creams until they're used up. So, okay, hand cream, moisturizer, all in one group. I've got 7 here. This is actually an after sun, so it's got some fake tan properties, but I'm not gonna put it in my fake tan. It's too subtle for that. And this is just decanted, so I haven't touched this at all, but I did finish up the little one that I had decanted that couldn't quite fit in here, that I had for travel, so I did finish that one up. I think last time I showed it to you. Then I've got these 2 hand creams here, lemon, what are they? The Somerset Toiletry Company. So this is the lemon lime scented hand cream, and this is the lemon elderflower scented hand cream. Never used them, excited to try them out. Then I've got 2 by Rituals. This one I'm doing really all right on. This has been in my handbag for a while, but then I think I wanted something less intensive smelling and also more sensitive for my hands. So it's changed over to my usual one. This one is the Ritual of Mare Recovery Hand Balm. Oh, okay, so this is a proper hand cream. And this is the Ritual of Karma 48-hour hydrating body cream. Yeah, could use this on my body, I think, I guess. One more body milk. I think I showed this to you in the intro, just from a hotel range. So, yeah. And then this one I really, really love. Oliver Bowen's hand cream, Pomelo and Basil. I think that's how you pronounce it. Really nice. So again, I think this would be a really cool one for my handbag. It's just a little bit big, but I could also squeeze it down and then roll it up, and it's a more metal-based packaging. Body sprays. I think I was at 4 in the intro. I'm still at 4, but okay. New ones came in, and one actually I had, but I forgot to count it because it lives in my handbag. Let's start here. This is the Floral Street Wonderland Peony Eau de Parfum. I'm not counting this in my perfume collection because I know they sell this at Sephora and it's meant to be high-end, and I think it's quite expensive. It was in an advent calendar. No, it's a body spray. I'm sorry. It's not perfume. I'm a snob when it comes to perfume. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm nearly done with it though, and I find it useful to have a body spray in my handbag. Okay, then I've got this one here, Impulse, Golden Grace, Jasmine and Amber. I haven't used this one yet. Let's open it so you can see. Here's what this one looks like. 100 milliliters. Yeah, I might put this one in my handbag once the Floral Street is done and once the next one is done, because that's another mini by Rituals. And this is the Ritual of Ayurveda, Blissful and Hair and Body Mist even. And this has only got, oh, this is 20 mils and this is 10. Who would have thought? Double the amount. And this is the one that I don't really love, but I'm gonna use it up. Oh, I can make a new marking. So last time I showed it to you, I was here and I'm here today. So a little tiny little jump. Can you see that blue line? Okay. Fab Essentials, the new Roses body spray. I don't like this, but I'm gonna use it up as a room spray. Maybe I'll put it in my laundry again as well, as per all of your suggestions. And then perfumes, I had 12 in the intro. I think the body sprays were in there. So I'm down one, okay, but I'm splitting it up further. Let's start here. Yves Saint Laurent, Rive Gauche, love this one. Another YSL one. This is Libre, love this one. Just one spritz is enough. This one is the Eau de Parfum, I think. I cannot read that, but it's darker than the, I know there's like a lighter version, so yeah, one spritz is enough. It's very concentrated, but I love it. Then I've got Gucci Rush 2, which I might try and pan next year, actually. It could be kind of satisfying to see the progress on here. Then I've got a mini by Hermès, Un Jardin sur le Nil, and I'm here. This is my travel perfume, so I'm not using an awful lot of it. Then I've got Marc Jacobs Dot. Might also try and pan this next year. This is like a dupe type of perfume. I had the exact dupe for it. Bottle-wise, it looked exactly the same. I finished that one earlier this year, but they smelled different. So this is Chogan. I don't even know what, but yeah. There's no way of like telling them apart, but I'm nearly done with this one. I'm trying to use this one every day. Right now I've got these two in my bathroom, the Libre and this one. And this is more like a day-to-day thing, and this is more like a if I'm going out type of thing situation. So I'm going through the Chogan one quite quickly. This is one that I'm probably never gonna want to try and finish because it's discontinued, and it's last time I checked, maybe about a year ago or longer, it was over £300 on eBay. This is Karl Lagerfeld Chloe, not the Chloe that you can get now. A much older and cooler version from the 70s. I love this perfume. And I bought it on eBay. It was not £300, let me tell you. But I'm just gonna hold on to this forever. It's just a nostalgic thing. So I will use it though. But I'll probably always hold on to this, and this will probably go in a memory box or something like that. So those are my perfumes, and I think that means I've updated you and shown you everything. Wow. I'm now going to give you the actual total amount here, and then let's talk about comparisons. What's still here from the intro? Back then, I had 41 products when I started my No Buy Project Pan, and some of them are still here. Okay, so let's go through them one by one. There is the MAC Brow Single Eyeshadow here, so that's one item. Then, I don't know if you want to count that, because I had it, but it wasn't in my intro. But there's the MAC Typographic as well, so 1.5, yeah. Then there is the Kiko Single Eyeshadow, now depotted, which is here. Then there's the NARS Blush, the H&M Do It All Stick, here we go. The Sisley Blush Bronzer, this one. The Laura Mercier Shimmer Block. And then 3 more products that are still in my collection, but they're no longer part of the No by Project pan. So I've got a red lipstick by L'Oreal here. Blake's Pure Red, Colorish. Here it is. And another red lip. Revolution Velvet Kiss Lip Crayon in Decadence. And here's this one. And my concocted foundation, which I'm actually unofficially panning right now, and I think I'm making really good progress. I'm down to, yeah, you can see that where the product ends. That's 10 products from my intro that are still in my collection. 9 if you don't count the MAC, which I had decluttered but not passed on yet, and then recluttered, so it wasn't technically in the intro. And only 6 of them are actually still within my No by Project pan right now. Down 32, but because the typography wasn't there. Yeah, you get it. But still, for the sake of it, I'm down 31 products. I think that's kind of cool, but also a little bit like, 3 years, shouldn't you be done already? It always takes longer than you think with everything. Yeah. I think that's one of the biggest lessons that this No by Project pan has taught me, and panning in general. I think I'm gonna end it here. I think it's a long video already, so I really, really appreciate you for being here all the way until the end. My next update is gonna return back to normal. I'm gonna be showing you any empties that I might have had since today. I'm gonna be showing you some progress items where I can. And yeah, hopefully I'll even be able to move out another category. That's always really exciting when that happens, because it doesn't happen a lot. Only 1 category rolled out between today and this time last year. So thank you so much again for watching, and I really hope you subscribe if you haven't done so already. And other than that, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or night, wherever you are, and I'm sending you so much love. Take care, bye.